Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, July 7th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is an actor, radio host, and producer, and you know him from hit shows such as Scorpion and Bosch Legacy. Joining me today, we have the handsome, the incredibly talented Avi Benard. Let me share this live, ladies and gentlemen, so that we can get right into this interview. I'm super excited. Joining me tomorrow, we have. Let me share so that we can get right into this interview, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, almost had a problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Joining me tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we have. Let me give you guys the rundown of who's coming to join us this week, Fashion Dolls. And joining us tomorrow, we have. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Joining me tomorrow, we have Tyrone Evans Clark, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But without further ado, let's welcome our incredibly handsome, remarkable special guest, Mr. Avi Benard. Hello, hello,
Hello
and
there.
welcome to Dollhouse.
Thank you very much for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you here. So before we get into this interview, how has 2022 been for you thus far? Because I know it's been hectic with this pandemic going on and so many things. How has your 2022 been for you thus far?
Well, yeah, I mean it's been a lot. My son was born in October, and so he's 8 months old now, and the year has mostly been about just getting acclimated to that, to having a whole other person to raise and look after. Um, but yeah, other than that, just trying to continue to stay focused and strive towards achieving more goals, you know?
Yes, it is so good to have you here. So we're going to start the journey. Tell us how the world got introduced to Avi Bernard, and how did you get your start into acting?
Well, wow. I started off as a radio intern in 2009 at KJLH 102.3 FM. And from there, I just, I knew I wanted to be an actor, and I started taking classes, and I started just going on auditions, and mostly just like commercial stuff because that's kind of the easiest way to start. And I just continued to just be drawn in by that world. It's something that I didn't know I wanted to do when I was a kid, and it's just something that someone suggested I try, and so I just tried it for fun, going to this commercial class. And when I went, I just had such a good time. And so I was like, well, I can't believe people actually get paid to do this. And so, but it's been a journey, It's definitely been a journey. Lots of rejection, and I got my first part on True Detective in 2014, and uh, from there, just continuing to work hard, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun, but it's also been a challenge for sure. It's definitely not something that you can just do um, easily. At least for me, maybe some people's journey is different, but for me, it's been a challenge for sure. But that's how I
Now
got
you've
my
had
start anyway.
you've had your ups and downs, and look at you now. I remember you as Tommy on the hit show Scorpion, which used to come on CBS, which is a big, big, big network. Everyone knows Scorpion and Bosch, The Legacy, and so many other platforms. That's how I got introduced to Avi Bernard. So for you, your first time on set, because you said you got True Detective in 2014, your first time on set, for you as an actor, what's running through your mind? Because I know I've sat with a singer yesterday, shout outs to Phil Law. Um, he says sometimes he gets nervous when he's going out to perform on stage. So for you as an actor, what is your ritual before you go on set, and what's running through your mind? Because I know it's like overwhelming. You know, you want to make sure that you do everything right, your character, that you stay in the character and everything. So for you as an actor, what's running through your mind when you're on set?
Well, I mean, I think, I'm grateful to have the training that I've had, and which kind of it taught me to think about the world you're in that story. So if I'm on set, yeah, and True Detective was my first time on like a I guess like a major set, but I've done a bunch of like other like small stuff like student films and things for free and just stuff with friends and stuff like that. So I think that's always important to just when you first start to do as much of that stuff as possible. But my ritual is kind of just kind of grounding myself in that world. So if I'm playing Tommy on Scorpion, what am I doing in this scene that we're about to shoot? And so in the perspective of Tommy, not in the perspective of myself in this world as Avi. And so, so in that episode, we were getting ready to have a street race. And I was the one who started the race, and I was part of this. I was one of the bad guys. And so I'm just thinking about my motivation, and I want to get this money, and I can't let these people come in here and mess with us. And so it's trying to just stay grounded in the world of the story, and you do that kind of just by daily practice every day of who am I in this story, what are my goals, um, things like that.
Okay, okay. So let's go down the list here because you have a great catalog of work. You've done State of Desolation, Drama Act Two. You did Bosch Legacy, Hound of Love, Love Recession, Drama Act One, Barry, Blackground, Gina's Journey, The Search for Williams, Grimes, Girl Lost, Lotus, my favorite Scorpion, Murder in the First, True Detective, Can You Not, Sinbad, The Fifth Voyage, Cuddle Buddy, and Nip Tuck with Julia McMahon, which is a cult classic on FX alongside American Horror Story and all of these other programs. You got 911 with Angela Bassett, so many others. So, wow, for you, going through your catalog of work that I just named, which pieces stand true to you? If you could resonate with any of the characters, which characters have a close connection to you, Avi, the actor? And
Well, I think you mentioned "Can You Not." That was something that I wrote very early on, and so that was like when we had it, I was able to get it screened at Raleigh Studios and in the film festival, and that was just kind of me and some friends, just something that I wrote kind of just to get something in. That was like one of the first things I did, and so I would say um, that was kind of the thing that resonated most closely with me because it was stuff that I wrote. It was stuff that I did it for fun and for experience, and there wasn't really any pressure, and it was just me, I guess. It was just me and just having a good time. So that would be the thing that resonates most closely with me personally.
okay, okay. Um, my next question for you is, how do you find that balance? Because I know with a lot of actors or people that work in the entertainment biz, you're a father, you're a family man, and you host your radio show, which we'll talk about in this interview coming up pretty soon. But how do you find that balance as an actor and as a dad? Because I know it's challenging with you being on set, and with this pandemic, we never expected this to happen, with being away from your family and being on set. Like, how important is communication to you, and how important is finding that balance with being an actor, Avi the actor, and then Avi the dad?
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, communication's everything. You know, I wouldn't be able to do it without my wife. She's she just puts in so much work, and we have to communicate about, are you going to be able to watch, him on this day? Are you going to be able to take care of him on this day? And how are we going to handle this? If we both have something going on, then, we'll have to call my mom, or I have to call a nanny or something like that. But I mean, communication is everything. And especially now, with our son, it's just, he needs attention all day, every day. And so it's not something that I can just, schedule anymore without talking to her. And, before, if I have to schedule something, I'm going to schedule it, and then I'm going to tell her. But now I have to tell her before I schedule it, so it's just about, like you said, communication's everything. And without that, then it's not going to work, because it's always me. I grew up without a father. And so it was always really important to me to be there for my son growing up, and then when he's old enough, he's always going to know where I am. And so, but right now when he's a baby, he doesn't know what's going on. It's just between me and my wife, just figuring everything out and making it happen. And that's to me what I signed up for. When I decided to be a parent, and that's what it takes. You can't just act like you don't have a kid anymore and do whatever you want. It's challenging. It's very difficult. It's even harder than I thought, but it's my responsibility as someone who signed up for this. The baby didn't ask for any of this, so it's on me and it's on his mom, and thankfully we work well together. And she definitely, she definitely does most of the work, because he's attached to her. He's breastfeeding. That's how he gets most of his food, and so she kind of always has to be nearby. And so it's definitely been harder on her than me, for sure.
Yeah. How do you find your strength as a man of color, a black? Because I know throughout my lineup last week, I don't know if you paid attention to it. It was all black men, and we talked about mental health and the current state of the country and the way the world is and everything going on in the world. It's interesting for me as a black woman to talk about my issues with mental health. So for you, how do you find your strength as a black woman in this country with everything going on and being an actor, and with everything that's going on, taking that and putting it into your character? And then you have people that watch the films and say, okay, I can relate to his character in some sort of way. For you, how's the responsibility for you as a black man? How do you find that strength?
Intentionally. I think you have to be very intentional about it. I mean, you're right, exactly correct about the difficulty that we all face as black people in this country, and people of color in general in this country. And it's been very upsetting since 2016, when Donald Trump came onto the scene. And I thought it was a joke, and I didn't think there would be any way he could win, and he won. And then all the racists really started coming out, and um, and so yeah, it's been eye opening, and it's been disappointing, and it's been heartbreaking, really, just to see people that you thought you knew, or you thought were friends, and they take off this mask, and they're just this whole other person, and they don't care about you or your rights. And so for me, I meditate every day. I think it's really important to take some time, and for me, if you don't have some kind of practice like that, then it's impossible, because we're always bombarding ourselves with external stimuli,
Yes.
Instagram, TV, Spotify, whatever, all kind of. We're always listening to something or watching something, and when you're doing that, and especially with all the negative things that you mentioned, that you alluded to, or we're taking this in, it's traumatic. And so if you're not grounding yourself and focusing on the person you want to be and the world you want to help create, then you're just going to become you know, just someone who is always influenced by what you're seeing and what you're taking in. And so you have to, in my opinion, you have to come from within. And to me, I do that every day before I go to bed. And uh, otherwise, I wouldn't be able to stay grounded. And, you know, I think the pressures of life and being black in this country um, can be too much. And so, so yeah, I just, you know, I want to encourage everyone to focus on your mental health and whatever that means to you, whether it's going outside or, you know, and exercising or spending time with friends or, you know, going to a cafe and getting a cup of coffee, whatever it is for you, then that's what you got to do and figure and take the time to figure that out. And it's okay to you know, to not know exactly what that is for you and to try different things, you know. But for me, it's meditation um, and just, you know, just trying to unplug sometimes.
And I totally understand. Even for me as a hostess of this platform, it becomes overwhelming sometimes, and I'm just like, okay, I can't do it today. There'll be days when I literally have to take breaks. And I remember just last week I was dealing with some personal stuff, and I just broke down crying because I'm just like, okay, I can't do this. I have to balance this out, host the platform, balance it out with family, taking care of family stuff. It's a whole lot. So I just couldn't do it. You'll crash. So take that time for yourself to balance it out. You know, create yourself a layout. I create vision boards. So it's like everything that I put on my vision board is now coming to full circle and into fruition. And I'm quite thankful. So if you believe in God, you know, I pray every morning I get up. You'll be all right. You'll just talk to someone about it. Don't keep it all bottled in because you'll find yourself crashing. So that's how I felt.
Absolutely, yeah. I have a vision board as well. You know, I am a believer in vision boards for sure.
Passion. What does passion mean to you as an actor? Because I know you get into characters, and this and this is where I'm going with this. A lot of actors, they sometimes get so caught up in the role where it's just like, okay, I need to pull back. I'm no longer the character. I'm Avi now. Has that ever happened to you? And how would you define passion when it comes to your craft as an actor?
How would I define passion? To me, passion is something that you would do for free, something that you enjoy doing, and that's how I knew that this is, you know, something I wanted to do because I would be on, like I said earlier, like I've done many projects for free, and I had a great time doing it, and uh, I've been lucky enough to get to a point where, you know, I am able to earn money to do it. But to me, it's passionate. It's a passion of mine because I love doing it. I love to be in a different situation and experience a world that I wouldn't normally get to experience as Avi. And and so to me, that's what passion is. And no matter what that is, you know, no matter what it is for you, it's something that you want to do, that you just can't, just that you think about when you're not doing it. Something that you imagine yourself doing, and something that you wouldn't rather be doing anything else. And as far as being really deep in like that, to where you have a hard time separating. Thankfully, it's
Yeah.
never happened to me. And that goes back to the practice that I mentioned earlier about, you know, separating yourself, you know, going into the world of the story that you're, you know, working on, and and kind of creating your perspective from that world and separating it, and kind of taking myself and putting it all to the side, and and just focusing on this world and what it is that who I am in this world and what my goals are, and creating memories from this world and not using personal things. That's the something I was taught early on, is to not use your personal circumstances to try to conjure an emotion. You know, I don't want to think of someone who I lost who was close to me just so I can cry or something like that, because that to me is how you get caught in you know,
Yeah.
you're blurring the worlds. And so thankfully it's never happened to me.
All right, all right, all right, fashion goals. It's about that time for our games with Avi here. But first, we'll do something a little different because I know you guys have been curious, very, very curious. We're going to talk about what's in my Miss Stevie's purse. And then we're going to get into our games with Avi. Um, we're going to do the rapid five, and Avi has to tell us five things that he can't live without. It can be in general, like your passions, your goals. It can be your favorite football team, your favorite foods, and then we're going to do turn the tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want, to get to know about the hostess. For the new viewers out there that don't know a whole lot about Stevie and my likes, my passions, my goals, whatever it is. So we're going to do the what's in Miss Stevie's purse first. All right. So let's see, fashion dolls. Of course, my keys, sanitizer, phone, and a girl has to smell good. So shout outs to Victoria's Secret. They're not paying me for promoting that. Um,
Not yet. Not yet
so
they're not, but they will.
some lip balm, uh, perfume, of course, a Bath and Body Works. Okay. Oh, I know where I'll be going after this. What else do I have in here? My wallet, Heidi Brown actor, and can't go anywhere without fresh breath, so I always keep a peppermint. And that's what's in Miss Stevie's purse, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so it is time for the rapid five. We are going to ask Avi what are some of his favorite things, fashion dolls. We'll go down the list, and Avi has to tell us what is his top five favorite things. It can be in life in general, your passions, your dreams, your favorite food, your favorite football team. What are five things that Avi can't live
Okay, I'm just gonna set my son and wife to the side because I know that's a cliche that that I'm sure you probably hear a lot. So not counting them, five things that I can't do without. I mean, it's got to be my phone, right? I mean, we're always I do so much on my phone now with communication and reading articles and probably way more time than I should spend. So my phone is one of them. Um, Damn man, I don't know. There's a there's a there's a special by Adam Sandler on Netflix. It's called Phone Wallet Keys, and so Adam Sandler, he's actually a
with?
really good musician. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's really hilarious. So I gotta say, my phone, wallet, and keys. Any transaction I need to make, I'm gonna need those. I'm gonna need one of those three things, if not more. Um, and I'm gonna say my bed because you got to get some rest. And I'm someone who I like to sleep late. Sometimes to 10 or 11 if I can. And so, and my bed, and that's four. And the fifth thing that I can't live without. Hmm, that's really tough. I'm gonna say water. I'm lame. I'm so lame. I'm water's the only thing I drink. And so I'm gonna have to round the list out with water. So water, my bed, phone, wallet, and keys.
V. Brown, actor, singer, agrees. And shout outs to him. Very creative, very talented, amazing singer and songwriter. And I had him here on this platform. So everyone would agree to the bed. And ladies and gentlemen, Phil Loft, who I interviewed yesterday, is here. Another singer and songwriter. Amazing. So be on the lookout for his project as well, too. We are doing the Turn the Table segment, Fashion Dolls. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want to, for my new viewers out there to get to know about Miss Stevie. Because I'm a very quirky, mysterious woman. I don't open up to a lot of people. So this is the way for the world to get to know who Miss Stevie is. So I'm going to pass it down to Avi, and we're going to ask, Avi's going to ask me some questions, ladies and gentlemen. So take it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna play the game of five with you then. I saw you take some things out of your purse. What are five things you can't live without?
Okay, I would have to say more and first and foremost, God. Without him, I'm nothing. I'm here. I'm alive. Um, COVID free, thank God. I have a car. healthy and breathing and existing. So that's the first thing. Um, my mom is my everything. That is my queen. Me and her look just alike, like splitting image. And I have a birth too. So if you take away the eyelashes and everything else, you'll see another version of me walking around somewhere. So I mean, we look exactly identical. So I would have to say family. That includes mom. Number three, I would have to say is I would have to go with what you said, water. Water, stay hydrated. It's a good way also to stay healthy as way too, and that's what's keeping me alive and thriving. I've learned to drink more water other than pop, as we call it down here, because I'm from South Carolina, or soda pop or whatever. You have to drink a lot of water. Um, number four, what is number four? I would have to say self care. Lots of self care. I love to smell good, as you
Amen.
guys can see. I love, hair and makeup. I love getting glammed up for you guys. So self-care is very, very important. And it doesn't have to necessarily be glamour, getting hair and makeup done, but it can just be taking a moment, lighting a candle and reading a book, unwinding and pouring yourself a glass of wine. And life is, too short to not enjoy the finer things and the things that make you happy. It doesn't necessarily have to be, over the top, but just something that helps you relax. And I would have to say for number five, one thing I can't do without is my makeup. I can't do without my makeup. No, 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 no. When I did season 15 of Style by Stevie, when we introduced our new co-host EJ, I woke up and I overslept and I said, "Oh God, I need to do my makeup and stuff," and I didn't have time. So I said, "Oh well, they just don't have to see me like this." So I threw on a romper and I came out and we went live and nailed it. I said, "EJ, I'm taking this one for the team. I'm doing it for you." That was the only show that I did makeup free. So I cannot live without my makeup. I'm like the black version of Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor said, "Put your lipstick on and pour yourself a glass of wine. A girl can never conquer." So rest in peace to Elizabeth Taylor. I never leave the house without, some type of serum or something on. So image is everything for me, especially in this field, because people, if they see it, best believe they will talk about it. So that's my top five.
That's a fact. I feel it. That's a good top five right there.
Yes. All right, fashion dolls. So that is the turn the table segment. Now, Avi, you also, speaking of hosting, because you also have a radio platform as well too. So tell us about that. What is it like finding that balance with being a radio host? Because I know you have to tune in certain days and host the platform, and then do your acting, and then be a family man. Like it's a lot. But again, it goes back to what I said in the beginning of the interview, which is finding that balance, making a list, going through goals. And I love to write things. So I'm always writing in a book, always, yes, you could call me a little bookworm or whatever, but I'm always writing things down and putting sticky notes here and there and organizing. So how do you do the radio show and then do your acting as well also?
Well, the radio show, I'm actually a DJ on KJLH 102.3 FM here in LA. I've been, as I said earlier, that's how I got my start back in '09 as an intern there, and I worked my way up to being a production assistant and then having just a 1 minute segment once a week, and then to being on the air, like I have my own show on Saturday mornings.
All
Um,
right.
but I kind of took a step back a little bit when my son was born because I was doing every Saturday or every Friday night at midnight to 5 a.m. Saturday, and those hours just no longer worked for me when he was born, and so I'm still on there different times, just it's just kind of different times throughout. It's different every week. They'll call me and say, "Can I do this time this day?" I'm just doing fill-ins at the moment. But yeah, it's 102.3 FM if you're in Los Angeles, and you can listen from anywhere on the app, the KJLH app.
All right, you heard it there, fashion dolls. And my last question, last two questions for you are, could you see yourself getting into production and directing as well also?
Yeah, definitely. It's it's something that I do want to do eventually. I am working on my first feature film, producing it as a producer. I mean, and so it's definitely a process. You know, it's gonna it's something I've been working on for a long time. But definitely that's something that I do want to do a lot is produce my own content. I think it's really important. You know, it's in this world to if you want to be something, you gotta kind of make it happen yourself. And so uh, that's something that I do definitely want to do, and I am actively working on.
Okay, okay. And my last question for you is, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into radio and DJing or acting and producing? Because you wear so many hats, and my hats off to you, King, because you are a one of a kind business. Like, I love your professional ethics, the way you have everything set up, and I agree with you 100% on having to take breaks, doing it all on your own. Like, it's overwhelming. You'll find yourself crashing. So, what advice would you give to the young generation of young black and brown boys and girls that are watching this platform and saying, okay, if he can do it, I can.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words. I think you have to learn, and you have to start from somewhere. And I think we want to be at the top and want to be the best, and we want to be on the biggest platforms, on the biggest shows. But you have to approach it with humility, and you have to be willing to put the work in, and you have to be willing to dedicate your life to it. Really, I think you know if you want to get into radio, then the path I took was starting as an intern. I worked on the street team, just driving the station van around, setting up events. And so once I got access to the building, I had someone teach me everything about production, like, using Pro Tools, how to make your own commercials and stuff like that. And so I learned things that people, that not everyone was willing to learn, because I figured the more I know, the more valuable I would become, and that's what happened. And as far as acting, you have to stay in class. You have to take classes. It's something that I think Kobe Bryant would have always been in the gym, no matter how good he was. You know, Tiger Woods is always going to have a swing coach. You know, and even at the top of his game, he's going to have a coach. And no matter who you are as an actor, whether you're just starting out or whether you're an Oscar winner, you gotta always be in class and continuing to work on what you do. And so no matter what it is that you're doing, just learn everything you can. Not everyone's path is going to be the same, and so don't compare yourself to anyone else, because that's a really quick way to get depressed. There's so this person is my age and they're already doing this, or this person accomplished this way before I did. Just it's a dead end. It's not going to help. So just focus on your path and taking one step. What can you do that day, and one day at a time.
And I'm gonna add on to what you just said. I love what you said. Comparing yourselves. People have told me about that because they would notice that I would do it as well too. My brother K285 in the audience. Check out his platform, the K2 Spot. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. We did an interview as well too, so you guys get to see a more vulnerable side of me and open up and be a little transparent because I'm very private. But other people have been telling me, stop comparing yourself to other platforms that are similar to style. Do your own thing. Originality is key. Even with acting, some actors and singers, songwriters, they don't like being compared, or comparing themselves. Stop doing it. Everybody's in their own lane, doing their own thing. Originality and remaining humble is key. And that's what I've learned. My mom, she always told me, she said, no matter how big you get, because she's a Southern Christian woman, she said this, no matter how big you get, don't you forget to put God first in everything that you do. Don't forget that as fast as you gain all of the success, you can lose it in the drop of a dime. That's what she told me. So remain humble and stay true to who you are. And the reason why my fans have stuck with me as followers. I don't call them my fans. I call them my fashion dolls. My fashion dolls have stuck with me throughout the entire thing is because I've never changed. Well, yeah, my looks have changed, but other than that, I've stayed true to who I was and humble, and I've never lost sight of who I am because this business will eat you up. So remain humble.
Absolutely, I 100% agree.
All right, fashion balls. We are now at the end of this interview. Let everyone know where they can follow you. I had such an amazing time, and we definitely got to do this again in the future.
I'm happy to come back for sure. Yeah, just here on IG or Twitter at avibernard. You can follow me there.
All right, fashion dolls. Ladies and gentlemen, Avi Benard, and you guys can check him out on the radio. Check him out DJing. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Tomorrow joining me, we have Tyrone Evans Clark, who's also another actor as well too. And ladies and gentlemen, we have an actor that I've interviewed as well too, Maurice Lochner, who's worked alongside Tyler Perry. So make sure you guys go and check out that interview as well too. Subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime. I love you all, and more importantly, stay true to who you are, stay humble, and remember that whatever you do, go through passion, live life through passion, and go through it with fire vicariously. Leap, you never know. So I love you all. Make sure you guys are staying safe out here. It is hot. And I'm about to go check and see what Bath and Body Works is talking about for this last semi-annual sale with this coupon I found in my purse. So I love you all. And this interview will be up and you can check it out on YouTube. You guys take care. And Abby, it was such an amazing time. And I had a pleasure interviewing you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Miss Stevie. Appreciate you.
You take care.
Bye.